who's our communication officer, said I would not go off script. And I'm already off script. Wasn't that wonderful to see those lovely young ladies and women come across the stage and greet their principals and house administrators? No masks, all smiles. That's fabulous. We're back, folks. Good afternoon. My name is Ralph Mayo, and I am the principal of Greenwich High School. It is my great pleasure to be your host for the Community Service Awards program. I want to thank you all for coming today to help us recognize our students from all grades and all schools for all their hard work in helping people that are unable to help themselves. Greenwich has a deep and long tradition of service, and the young people you will be meeting tonight are following that grand tradition. I'd like to thank our jazz band under the direction of Mr. Jason Police for being here with us today. They are nothing short of outstanding. Thank you, Jason. Thanks, Dan. At this time, we all please rise for the singing of the National Anthem. The anthem is being performed by 4 of our seniors, Stephanie Pisani, Dawson Clark, Jackson Gales, and Alexis Killeen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose rust stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Once again, I'd like to thank our music department and their students for being involved in performing in today's recognition ceremony. They are a special group. One of our singers, Alexis Killeen, is a 3-time winner of this award. Way to go, Alexis. It's now my great pleasure to introduce our special guests who are up on stage with me. First and foremost, our former superintendent of schools, Dr. Ernie Flashman. Our current superintendent of schools, Dr. Tony Jones. Our Board of Education chair, Kathleen Stowe. And our state senator, Mr. Ryan Fazio. Our first speaker for today's ceremony is State Senator Ryan Fazio, who also happens to be a graduate of Greenwich High School. Ryan?
Good evening. I am so excited to be with you all here today, not least of which, as Mr. Mayo said, because I am a graduate of the Greenwich Public Schools. I went to Parkway, I went to Western, I went to Greenwich High, and the unique sense of social responsibility, love of community, is something that I think the Greenwich Public Schools are unique at accomplishing, of conveying to their students. And the students here up on stage with us today are the prime example of that. We are so proud of you all. We're so grateful for your service, but also we are enormously excited for what you have to accomplish in your futures. Community service certainly is an example of love we have for our fellow man, but it's also teaches us a lot in the process about others who are facing hard times, who are down on their luck. It teaches us a lot about the world around us, and it makes us whole ourselves. So beyond just what we learn in school, it's also enormously important to get our education beyond the walls of the school, and that's exactly what these students are doing and are exhibiting, and the leadership that they're showing their entire community. So I have brought with me from the state capitol citations recognizing their good work in our community on behalf of the entire state government and my colleagues from the Greenwich delegation. Again, we are enormously proud of you, and we're very excited to see what you have to accomplish in the years to come.
Thank you so much, Senator Fazio. Before I introduce the chair of the Greenwich Board of Education, Ms. Kathleen Stowe, I'd like to recognize all of our elected officials that are in the PAC today, members of the Board of Education, BET, RTM, members of our cabinet, and our chief of police is out there as well. Please stand and for a round of applause. Thank you. I really believe that the people we just recognized do a lot to make our town a great place to live and work. So, Kathleen Stowe, chairperson of the Board of Education, come on up here. But more importantly, she's a parent of a 9th grader at Greenwich High School.
Thank you. And I should also mention, I didn't attend all the schools here like Ryan, but I have one represented at each stage. So I have one at Parkway, one at Central, and one here at Greenwich High School. But good evening to all of you. This is one of my favorite events of the year, an amazing Greenwich tradition started by Dr. Ernie Fleischman. So thank you so much for being here, and for this to be back in person means so much to all of us, I know. The importance of community service in Greenwich has been a focus of so many students through the decades. This impressive group of 27 students should be so proud of the work they've done for others. We are so proud of them, but also so proud of their families seated in the audience tonight, because I know that you all are a big part of their accomplishments as well, and lending your support to, of course, the teachers that have helped them lead the way, and all of our amazing principals and administrators. We're thankful to all of you. Greenwich is truly a special place to live. I feel so lucky to live here every day. It's full of wonderful volunteers throughout our community, and it starts with these children, so thank you again. Thank you for all of you already done, and we look forward for you giving back to the community for years to come. Now I'd like to introduce our superintendent of schools, Dr. Tony Jones.
I also just want to take a moment and say congratulations to each and every one of our students. Thank you for giving back to your community in a way that has obviously been acknowledged at the highest level, because you were chosen as a premier student within your school setting. And we're just all so proud of you and what you've given to the community. And I hope that you've realized, and I know you have, that when you give service, what you give back is tenfold. Just in how you feel in kindness and goodness for others. I also want to take a moment just to say well done to all of the families, parents and guardians that are here tonight. You are doing something absolutely right to have your children sitting on this stage. So thank you for the wonderful work that you are doing. I also just want to acknowledge another previous superintendent who's sitting out there, Dr. Bill McCursey. Good to see you here, Dr. McCursey. And at this time, I believe we have either a video or audio from our first selectman.
Good evening. This is First Selectman Fred Camillo. I'd like to congratulate all of our Community Service Award winners this year. You are not only following in a great tradition of volunteerism in town, you're also following one at Greenwich High School. And you're also forging your own path in public service, one that I hope will last a lifetime. So thanks again for your past service and good works, and good luck in all of your future endeavors, and we'll see you over the summer. Enjoy your night.
We'll clap for him even though he's second. As you can imagine, the first selectman schedule is very complex, so we're thrilled he was able to contribute to tonight. Next.
Thanks, Jay. Having been a middle school principal for 14 years, it was always amazing to me how these students matured so quickly over the 3 short years that they were with us. They went from sleeping with their teddy bears to going out into our community to provide service to our community. They did everything from cleaning our parks and beaches to working at homeless shelters. Their enthusiasm for service was contagious, as they often get many of their friends involved. It is my pleasure to introduce the principal of Central Middle School, Mr. Tom Healy.
Good evening, everyone. Riona, stand with me while I speak about you. Embarrassing. Riona McCursey's commitment to service is unparalleled. During her time at Central, which has been defined by the pandemic, Riona has remained an active and engaged participant in our school and local community. Even while learning remotely, Riona initiated and coordinated numerous service activities for the wider student body. It is evident that, to Riona, serving others is an embedded part of the school experience. Thanks to Riona's spirit and unassuming leadership, our community is a better place. We are so proud of her efforts and therefore pleased to acknowledge her dedication to others through honoring her with this award. Congratulations, Riona. While we take our picture, I'd like to introduce the principal of Eastern Middle School, Mr. Jason Goldstein.
My turn to embarrass you. It's my privilege to recognize Abigail Myers as our Eastern Middle School's Community Service Award recipient. Abby shared that it is important to her to have a positive impact on others, to face issues challenging the larger community. For example, Abby is extremely passionate about our environment and hopes to inspire others to make a difference and help slow climate change. As the founder of an environmental pledge stand, Abby provides education and materials for environmental protection. She created a permanent beach bucket station at Todd's Point in collaboration with the town so that visitors of the community members can participate in a collective effort towards environmental protection and keeping our beach clean. Additionally, Abby has raised over $3,000 for after-school programs, volunteered through Open Arts Alliance to organize food drives, and provide theater experience for senior citizens, as well as create cards for kids in crisis. Abby's school counselor, Ms. Moore, shared, "When I think of a student that exemplifies service for others, I immediately think of Abigail Myers. She is an absolutely amazing, service-oriented, and wonderfully talented young woman that we're lucky to have here at Eastern." And we are lucky to have you at Eastern. Congratulations, Abby, on this well-deserved Community Service Award. While we take our picture, it's my pleasure to introduce the principal of Western Middle School, Gordon Beinstein.
Thanks, Jason, for adjusting the mic. Okay, so it was pointed out by my esteemed colleagues over there that the only administrator, male administrator, not wearing a tie. So I need to explain that I had shoulder surgery recently and I can't kind of get this over my head. But Mr. Healy decided that's not the reason, it's the size of my head, so I can't put a tie on. So thank you, Tom, for that. So it's my pleasure to introduce Ms. Come on up here, Ms. Dana Diaz, as the Western Middle School Community Service Award winner. In full disclosure, I do not know Diana that well. I do spend the vast majority of my time with children, just not those with Diana's attributes. My time is unfortunately cannibalized by the other little cherubs. So not having the pleasure of working with Ms. Diaz that often, I reached out to our staff, who couldn't wait to share what makes Diana so special. Some highlights from their comments. Her dedication to everything that she does is evident and impressive. She has all the qualities a teacher dreams about in a student: polite, curious, mature, works well with others, and asks questions. Diana is not afraid of a challenge and works hard to be successful. She's a model student. I feel very fortunate to have her in my class. It's no surprise to me that Diana has won the Community Service Award, because if I had to describe Diana with one word, it would be kind. She willingly works with all students. Likewise, everyone is happy and willing to work with her, because she always makes her peers feel comfortable, includes all ideas, and elevates the group to produce outstanding work. I want to close by pointing out that apparently these are family traits, as Diana's sister is also here representing New Left. So congratulations to Mr. and Ms. Diaz as well. And all the families out there, so thank you so much. And now, please do Mr. Ralph Mayo.
It's my great pleasure to talk about our high school awardees for a couple seconds. About maybe a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks ago, Ernie and I sat down for lunch with the high school winners. And we asked them, actually Ernie asked them, this is his question, I'm not taking credit for it. Ernie asked them why, he has the best question. He asked them why they were so involved in service to our community. And each one of them gave the same answer. The inspiration came from their parents, from you guys out there. So let's recognize and give a hand to all the parents in the audience. We probably wouldn't be here without you guys. In fact, I know we wouldn't be here without you guys. It's my great pleasure to introduce Ms. Lucy Orecko, the House Administrator to Bella House, who will begin the introduction of the high school awards. Lucy.
Hello, everyone. For Ella Moore, a senior in Bella House, community service has been about using her skills in such a way that benefits others. When I spoke to Ella in preparation for this ceremony, she shared with me the following. I think one of the most valuable aspects of community service is being able to use your skills to give back to the community. I like being able to help people by utilizing my passions to make the community a better place. For Ella, those passions have been medicine and rowing. She has used her skills to bring lasting change to our community. Ella has served as a volunteer at Stanford Hospital for several years. She is also a GEMS Explorer Post member, having completed her EMT certification. She's also been a volunteer for Erg for a Cure, which raises money for cancer gene therapy. Ella has participated in Erg for a Cure challenges and has contributed to the organization of the event. In addition, she has done remarkable work for the Neighbor to Neighbor nonprofit organization in Greenwich. She's also co-president of the Free Standardized Test Tutoring Club at GHS, which provides SAT and ACT tutoring by GHS students to those who do not have access to tutoring. We are very proud of Ella as she enters the next chapter and continues to pursue her passions. She will be attending Stanford in the fall, where she will row and major in biomedical engineering. Please join me in congratulating Ella on her accomplishments. While we take a photo, I'd like to introduce our next presenter, Christina Shaw, who is the Cantor House Administrator.
Good evening, everyone. As Cantor House Administrator, it is one of my greatest pleasures to participate in our Community Service Award ceremony. This year, I am honored to recognize Karen Maldonado as the Cantor House recipient of the Community Service Award. Karen has been involved with the Boys and Girls Club of Greenwich since she was a young student. There in middle school, she was a member of the Torch Club, which aims to build leadership skills in young students. Now that she is in high school, she has a leadership role in the Keystone Cardinals at the Boys and Girls Club as the treasurer. With this organization, she has consistently participated in countless community service opportunities, such as partnering with the Greenwich Land Trust to plant trees, shredding paper for Earth Day, and stocking shelves at the food pantry. In addition, Karen spends her extra time tutoring students both at the Boys and Girls Club and also students who are children of Greenwich Hospital workers. In addition, Karen excels in other aspects of her life. As a member of AVID, she learned the skills that she needed to propel herself into challenging high-level classes at Greenwich High School. She works part-time and helps her family at home. In fact, Karen shared with me that her help translating for her parents, which she has done since a young age, made her appreciate the meaning of service and of gratitude. She told me that just as she did that out of love for her family, she gives back through her volunteering out of love for her community. Next year, Karen will attend George Washington University on scholarship. She plans to study business administration. Please join me in congratulating Karen on her Community Service Award and all of her other achievements. I would now like to introduce David Wacko, Clark House Administrator.
Good afternoon. Clark House is very pleased to honor Stephanie Busini as this year's recipient of the Community Service Award. Stephanie has given much of her time to help others. She has volunteered over 50 hours with the GEMS Explorer Post, and then additional 90-plus hours riding along as an EMT and providing educational lectures on health-related topics. Stephanie volunteers as RAMP, which is an organization that supports impoverished children in Martin, Kentucky, County in Kentucky, She also gives of herself on Offbeat Players, which is a musical theater production and supports atypical peers in performing. But most of Stephanie's time has been given to Neighbor, where she started at the age of 10. She helped pioneer and collect and distribute female hygienic products for the organization, all while maintaining straight A's. When I asked her why she volunteers and gives of herself, she responded, "I like to help people and give back. It's one thing to talk about it, but to make change, you need to get involved." Stephanie would like to thank her parents for their volunteerism as they set the example for her to follow. Stephanie plans to continue her service on helping others. Upon graduation, she plans to attend Northeastern, where she will be becoming a nursing student. Please help me in congratulating Stephanie Bossini and all the other award winners this evening.
Good afternoon. Congratulations to all award winners. My name is Andrew Byrne, and I'm the Folsom House Administrator, and I'm so pleased to be here honoring Alexa Nakanishi, our Folsom House recipient. Alexa's commitment to service knows no bounds. She's the founder and CEO of the Rising Artist Mentorship Program. Rising Artist Mentorship Program is a nonprofit organization dedicated to enriching children in the arts through providing free, private, virtual, music, theater, dance, and art lessons from high school volunteer mentors. Her impressive work leading the Rising Artist Mentorship Program earned Alexa a grant with the Stevens Initiative. Alexa was able to bring her passion for service and exceptional organizational skills to the international level by providing project feedback and suggestions to her peer counterparts across the world. I could go on in length about the work she has done with Rising Arts Mentorship Program. However, I will share some of the other work in our community. In addition to serving as our editor-in-chief for our yearbook, Alexa has spent over 150 hours volunteering at the Koskov Library, tutoring countless math and science students, and she has also served as a co-president of a club that delivers food to the homeless. We're so proud of Alexa for her incredible work that has had a lasting and meaningful impact on our school and broader community. Alexa will be going off to Georgetown University in the fall, where she'll study political science. Please join me in congratulating Alexa for this amazing honor. Next to the podium will be Bridget Barry, Sheldon House Administrator.
Sheldon House proudly recognizes the outstanding service of Alexis Killeen. As Mr. Mayo said before, Alexis is a Community Service Award to repeat. She was awarded at North Mianus, Eastern, and now here. The third time has to be the sweetest, as she has accumulated much more experience and is now in leadership roles. Alexis indicated she has always had an instinct to help others. She said that early on, her parents recognized, encouraged, and supported her in this. Alexis' services journey is long and extensive. Every year since 6th grade, except pandemic, she traveled with the RAMP project to Kentucky to work in a food pantry. Locally, she volunteered for several years at Hill House Senior Residency. An important path for Alexis is her work with the Ableist program, supporting individuals with special needs. She serves on their Youth Executive Board, organizing and implementing various events, including an annual prom. She has also put in many hours with the Offbeat Players theater group as rehearsal buddy leader and choreographer. As well, she co-teaches preteens through the Boston Adoptive Ballet Program. Whether Alexis is on or behind stage, she plays a vital role. Alexis reflected that these experiences have let her cross paths and establish meaningful connections with people she otherwise might not meet. She values the positive energy generated in these inclusive activities that enable people with differing abilities and backgrounds to unite through shared passion and commitment. Alexis described how gratifying it is to see those she works with enjoy and appreciate taking part. This has inspired her next steps. She's considering education majors at Bucknell. Please join me in recognizing and congratulating Alexis on this event. We know she will continue en route to make this world a better place.
At this time, it's my distinct honor to call to the podium the reason we're all here tonight, Dr. Ernie Fleischman.
Thank you, members of the Board of Education, school administrators, teachers, and musicians for your beautiful playing. Let me provide a brief history of this program. It was 1986, 36 years ago, when I was driving back from Portchester on the Post Road, when I saw the sign which said, "Welcome to Greenwich, the home of sports champions." I was pleased, but also somewhat disturbed. Pleased because our 3 children who graduated from Greenwich High School played varsity sports. Disturbed because I thought many of the champions who were serving their community were not being recognized. When I walked down the corridor towards the student center at the high school, I saw sports trophies on display, but nothing having to do with students who were serving their community. But I'm glad to say that's changed. I then called a meeting of our leadership team and proposed that we establish a program to honor those students who are doing heroic work, serving their community. The group enthusiastically agreed. We decided that community service needed to be put up on a pedestal. What you honor and expect is what you get. Furthermore, improving the lives of those in need is a major goal of learning. The high school award winners at a luncheon held a few days ago in Principal Ralph Mayo's office told us that service has changed their lives and their outlook. They said, "We feel a personal power that can make a difference in improving lives." So we know that community service is about developing habits of the mind and of the heart. And now, I want to speak so happily about the Fleischman, it's hard for me to get that out, Fleischman Award winner, Pratik Kaur. As a freshman, come a little closer. As a freshman, on his own initiative, Pratik founded the GSS Writing Pals Club, which organized workshops for children in underserved communities during his freshman and sophomore years. He led the workshops at Domus Kids. As co-chair of the executive committee of the First Selectmen's Youth Commission, he made it his personal mission to bring science to our town's middle schools. He also led the Student Diversity and Leadership Conference for the First Selectmen's Youth Commission. Recently, he developed his own class for the Youth Passion Project, an organization that allows high school students to teach courses to elementary and middle school students. He is a volunteer at Domus's Chester and Addison Center for younger struggling students. He is a member of the youth arm of Greenwich Together, an organization to combat substance abuse in our community. He has been working with MS Barry to incorporate new books by authors of color into the high school curriculum. He is working with the YWCA of Greenwich Center on developing a curriculum that teaches equity, diversity, and inclusion to younger students. Just a few words about Pratchett's academic accomplishments. His unweighted grade points average on a 4.0 scale is 4.11. It's amazing. He was honored by the University of Hartford for his research on multiple sclerosis. He was awarded the Dartmouth Book Award for making a positive impact. Now that's what he's done, but let me say a few words about who he is. These accomplishments are so impressive. I met with him for an hour and a half several days ago so that I could get to know him and we could ask each other questions. What came through are Pratchett's passions for improving the lives of people who are underserved, students and others who need support to improve their lives. What I witnessed was his empathy, which means his ability to understand other people's perspectives, their values, their needs, his desire to use his own words to get out and do something for individuals who need help to improve our community. He said we need to respect people for who they are and who they want to be. Finally, two statements from his teachers moved me so deeply, and I'm going to quote them. I watched slightly in awe as he broached the uncomfortable topic, maturely bringing both his passion and a reasoned voice. He was able to acknowledge his own privilege as the son of successful, loving parents and his own personal struggles with racism. His guidance counselor concludes, I cannot say enough about this young man. He epitomizes what I would want to see in this generation. A fantastic personality, a great mind, a huge heart, and the realization that he can and should work to bring about positive change. Pratchett, I want to present you with a book, Mountains Beyond Mountains, by Dr. Paul Farmer. If you haven't read it, read this book. Dr. Paul Farmer is one of America's greatest heroes, and many of his attributes are the ones that I talked about for you. My wife Amy and I also intend to make a check for a charity of your choice, and we wish you every success as you enter voting. Bravo.
Thank you all for coming tonight. I want to thank the GHS administrators for recognizing me with this award. And I want to congratulate all those who have won awards tonight. So let's give another big round of applause. There are countless students at GHS who have gained hundreds of service hours over their time in high school. And so to me, this award is not about what I have been able to accomplish as a single member of the community, but rather it is to commend all the students at GHS and the other public schools for our broader commitment to service in the Greenwich community. With dozens of community service clubs and organizations just at the high school alone, it's not difficult to see just how much of an impact students have made and continue to make in the community. And I'm grateful to have been able to have been a part of that community, whether it was my weekly youth commission meetings or the preparation for DEI initiatives in the community. I was always inspired by the dedication to service that the youth in Greenwich showed at every age, but especially at this high school. Service is a time commitment, and it can be quite challenging for a high school student to balance all of it. I know that firsthand. But when you're able to step back and look at what you've been able to accomplish, when you're able to see the broader impact that you have made, and when you're able to see the ideas for change, your ideas for change, being actively implemented, you recognize that all that time you spent was truly worth it. So once again, I'd like to say congratulations to the other award recipients tonight. I know just how hard you've all worked, and I know just how much these administrators appreciate your dedication to service. Thank you.
All right, I'm back. I'm here to wrap things up according to the script. Let's go off script again. I'm sitting next to a man who inspires me every day. People keep saying to me, why don't you retire? Why don't you enjoy your life? And I'm enjoying my life so much, being here at Greenwich High School and trying to be, because I'll never be like him, but trying to be like Dr. Flashman over here, who inspires people, cares about people so much. And, you know, I just want to try and get there. And maybe someday I will, but I probably not. Because, you know, when you're sitting next to the best, and I was sitting next to the best right here for the last hour, it's just amazing. It leaves me almost speechless how wonderful and how much he's given. And people have no idea. Yes, he was the superintendent of schools. Yes, he worked for a large corporation in New York City. But after that, they have no idea how much service he has given to our community and to communities that surround us. And he keeps that quiet because he's a humble, amazing man. So thank you, Ernie, for all this. And I say this even though he is a Red Sox fan. You know it. So, I will wrap it up now. First of all, thank you all for joining us today. Recognizing our students from our school district who do so much for our community. It was a pleasure to be here with all of you today to hear about all of their accomplishments. All the award winners should remain there, so don't go anywhere. You guys can stay there for pictures. All the parents should start heading out into the pack. We have a nice reception out there for you in the Galleria. It's a fancy name for the hallway outside the pack. And I just channeled a little Gordon Weinstein there. And the Jazz Ensemble will now perform as we exit this beautiful facility. Jason? Thanks, everyone.